Imagine this. You're a businessman, a powerful one. Someone crossed you, stole from you, betrayed you. In the normal world, you sue them. You call a lawyer. But in 1930s New York, you made a different kind of phone call. You called a candy store in Brooklyn, and within 48 hours, your problem was gone forever. No witnesses, no evidence, no body. Welcome to Murder Incorporated, the most deadly, most efficient, and most terrifying killing organization in American history. This wasn't just a gang. This was a corporation with bosses, employees, budgets, and quotas. And between 1930 and 1940, they killed somewhere between 400 and 1,000 people for money. This is their story.
To understand Murder, Inc., you have to go back to 1931. Al Capone's era was ending. His style, loud, violent, chaotic, had made him famous, but it had also made him a target. The government took him down. New York's smartest gangsters watched and learned. Charles Lucky Luciano, Meyer Lansky, Bugsy Siegel, Frank Costello. These men didn't want another Capone. They wanted something smarter, something cleaner, something corporate. So in 1931, they formed the National Crime Syndicate, a unified criminal organization that divided America's rackets between the major mob families. Think of it like a board of directors, but instead of stocks and dividends, they traded in drugs, gambling, and extortion. But every corporation needs one thing to function: discipline. And when someone broke the rules, skimmed money, talked to the feds, stepped on another family's territory, someone needed to handle it quietly, professionally, permanently. That's where Murder, Inc. was born.
Brownsville, Brooklyn, 1930s. Tucked on the corner of Livonia and Saratoga Avenue sat a small, unremarkable candy store. It was called Midnight Roses, run by a woman named Rose Gold, who stayed open all night long. From the outside, just a neighborhood shop. Egg creams, newspapers, penny candy. From the inside, it was the nerve center of American organized crime. Killers lounged at the counter eating candy and playing cards, waiting for the phone to ring. When it did, they got their assignment. A name, an address, a fee. And they went to work. The genius of this setup was its absolute normalcy. Cops walked past Midnight Roses every single day. Nobody suspected that the guys eating ice cream inside were professional killers on call 24 hours a day. It was hiding in plain sight. The mob had turned murder into a convenience service, available anytime, anywhere, for the right price.
Every killing machine needs an operator. Murder, Inc. had two. First, Louis Lepke Buchalter. Lepke was the business brain. Quiet, precise, deadly. He ran the garment district rackets in Manhattan and used Murder, Inc. as his personal enforcement arm. He was so feared that even the mob bosses were scared of him. Meyer Lansky once said Lepke would kill you for a nickel if he thought it was necessary. His partner in blood? Albert Anastasia. Where Lepke was cold and calculated, Anastasia was something else entirely. He loved killing. He didn't need a reason. He didn't need a contract. He killed because he enjoyed it. His nickname? The Mad Hatter. Later, Lord High Executioner. He once ordered a man killed simply because he saw his face on television during a robbery trial. A witness he didn't even know. Just because he was afraid that man might someday become a problem. Together, Lepke and Anastasia built the most effective murder-for-hire operation the world had ever seen. Cold, efficient, merciless. The soldiers of Murder, Inc. were a collection of Brooklyn's most dangerous young men. Most of them were Jewish and Italian kids from Brownsville and East New York, neighborhoods so tough that violence wasn't a choice, it was survival. The most feared among them?
Abe Kid Twist Reles. Short, stocky, with hands like sledgehammers, Reles was a natural-born killer. By his own count, he personally committed or participated in over 20 murders. He killed with ice picks, with ropes, with his bare hands. He was so brutal that even his own crew was afraid of him. Then there was Harry Happy Mayoni, who got his nickname not because he was cheerful, but because he smiled when he killed. And Pittsburgh Phil, real name Harry Strauss, considered by many historians to be the most prolific killer in Murder, Inc., estimated to have killed over 100 people. 100 people. These men were not criminals who sometimes killed. They were killers. Full stop. Murder was their profession, their paycheck, and their identity.
So how exactly did Murder, Inc. operate? It was a beautifully and terrifyingly simple system. Step 1, the order. A mob boss or crime family needed someone eliminated. They contacted the Syndicate leadership, Lepke or Anastasia, through trusted middlemen. No names on phones, coded language only. Step 2, the assignment. The hit was assigned to a crew, usually from a different city than the target. This was genius. A killer from Brooklyn killing someone in Detroit had no connection to the victim. No motive, no paper trail. Step 3, the surveillance. The crew studied the target for days. His routine, his home, his car, where he ate, where he slept. They were patient, professional. Step 4, the hit. Quick, clean, disappear. Preferred methods? Strangulation, no bullet to trace. Ice pick through the ear, looked like a natural death. Or a quick shot and into a waiting car. Step 5, disposal. Bodies were dissolved in acid, buried in lime, or dumped in the ocean. Many victims of Murder, Inc. were never found. No body, no crime, no problem. It was murder. Industrialized.
Murder, Inc. didn't just kill nobodies. They killed bosses, rivals, witnesses, anyone the Syndicate pointed at. In 1931, they were instrumental in the murder of Salvatore Maranzano, the self-proclaimed boss of all bosses in the Italian mob. His death cleared the way for Luciano's new syndicate. In 1936, Dutch Schultz, one of New York's most powerful independent gangsters, wanted to kill a federal prosecutor named Thomas Dewey, who was building a case against him. The syndicate said no. Killing a prosecutor would bring too much heat. Schultz didn't listen. He said he'd do it himself. So Murder, Inc. killed Dutch Schultz instead, before he could cause a catastrophe for everyone. They eliminated a problem by creating a bigger, bloodier one. That was the logic of the mob. Cold, ruthless, always business. Over a decade, hundreds of men were murdered on their orders. Some estimates go as high as 1,000 victims. Most were never solved. Most are still officially unsolved today.
Every empire has a weak point. For Murder, Inc., that weak point had a name. Abe Reles. In 1940, Brooklyn detectives finally caught Reles on a murder charge. Facing the electric chair, Reles made a decision that shocked the entire criminal underworld. He talked. For months, he sang to the DA's office like a canary. He gave up names, dates, methods, locations. He described murders in such precise, chilling detail that detectives could barely believe what they were hearing. He gave them everything. Because of Reles, Murder, Inc. began to unravel. Louis Lepke Buchalter was convicted and sent to the electric chair in 1944, becoming the only major organized crime boss in American history to be executed by the state. Pittsburgh Phil, convicted, electric chair.
Bugsy Goldstein, electric chair. Case after case, killer after killer. The Brooklyn DA's office was on fire. Reles was the most valuable informant in mob history. And the mob knew it.
November 12th, 1941. Abe Reles, the star witness, the man bringing down Murder, Inc., was being kept under 24-hour police protection at the Half Moon Hotel in Coney Island, Brooklyn. 6 police officers were stationed outside his room around the clock. The mob couldn't touch him. Or so everyone thought. That morning, Reles was found dead on the roof of the hotel extension below his 6th floor window. Bed sheets tied together were found dangling from his window, as if he had tried to escape. The official verdict? Accidental death. He fell while trying to escape his police protection. The streets of Brooklyn had a different explanation. The canary who could sing, but couldn't fly. To this day, the death of Abe Reles is one of the most suspicious accidents in New York criminal history. Many believe the mob paid off his police guards to throw him out that window. The truth died with him.
Murder Incorporated was eventually dismantled. Key leaders executed, others imprisoned. The Syndicate reorganized and went deeper underground. But here's what stays with you about Murder, Inc. It wasn't chaos. It wasn't rage. It was a business. A structured, organized, coldly professional business built entirely around the taking of human lives. These men punched in, did their job, collected their paycheck, and went home to their families in Brooklyn like any other working man. That's what makes Murder, Inc. truly terrifying. Not the violence, the normalcy. If you want to understand how organized crime really worked in America, not the Hollywood version, but the real, brutal, business-minded machine, this is it. Murder, Inc. was the dark side of the American dream, taken to its most extreme conclusion. Work hard, be efficient, get results. No matter the cost. If this story hit different, like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Which Murder, Inc. killer do you want a full episode on? Next week, we go even deeper into New York's criminal underworld. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.